Whenever you're having a great take, I just break out laughing.
He's a maverick, like Elon.
That's a quote from the show.
That's a quote from the show.
Can't wait, mate. I know, I'm only joking, I'm only messing. I tell you, people think it's all glamour.
You children bicker constantly.
Yeah, and we drive each other crazy. But when things go to hell, they're there for me.
I'm a huge fan of the show, so it's an emotional one for me to be seeing the end of it. But I wondered for you guys, what's it like now to fully be saying goodbye to the show?
I don't think it's hit me fully yet, but you know, the past couple of weeks I've been sort of thinking more about the show, reflecting on the last 6 years. It's been quite a ride. Made some incredible friends and memories along the way, and so yeah, it's gonna be quite emotional, I think, when it hits me. I don't know when that's gonna be.
Yeah.
But
when people forget you, that's when it's gonna be really emotional. And being like, oh no, like it's been 6 weeks. It's like no one knows Ben anymore. Are we coming back for season 5? No. Yeah, so it hasn't really hit actually, because we wrapped like a year and like 13 months ago. So for 13 months we forgot about it. Everyone thought, or I mean, at least from my end, like, oh, that's it, we're done. And now we're revisiting it, you know, having these conversations. So yeah, I think, yeah, maybe less than 6 weeks, maybe like 2 weeks after it airs. Because Netflix will come out with something new, you know, and then like another thing.
He's just waiting to be forgotten, is what he's...
I'm waiting for part 3 of Cobra Kai, you know, that's what I'm waiting for.
Can't wait, mate. I know, I'm only joking, I'm only messing. It's sad. It's always a mixed bag, you know, sort of melancholia of a sense of contentment with the thing ending when it's supposed to, because you don't want to drag a dead horse through the field either and batter it with a stick.
Yeah, we couldn't do a 5th season of Armageddon again. We couldn't do it.
Yeah, and then at the same time, you know, we're gonna miss this band of circus.
Yeah,
you know?
It's a weird one, because the character side of it, of not playing these characters, is obviously one thing, and getting to play with these guys, but it's also spending time and hanging with these guys every day was something I look forward to. You know, even coming here to do this press stuff, I'm like, I can't wait to see the gang.
Yeah.
So, and the last time we all saw each other was when we finished shooting the very last scenes we shot there. So. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. It's weird, but I feel we did what we were supposed to do on that show and finish it the way it was meant to be finished.
What's it like for you, Aidan?
Oh, great. Well, you know, it's a lot of things. We spend like a whole chapter of our lives making the show come together over like 4 seasons, so it's surreal and you know, heartfelt and welcome. I think life is made up of a lot of change, so you have to embrace that.
Yeah, I second that. It's like, really sad, but it's been amazing, so just super grateful, and that we knew that it was going to be the last season, so we were able to really like take it in and connect with each other and just not take it for granted. So bittersweet, very bittersweet.
How do you think fans are going to feel it at the end? Obviously, we're expecting an emotional one.
I don't know. Sad? Happy?
Both at the same time. That was my reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the last episode. I can't bring myself to do it. I'm not very good at endings.
Oh, you gotta.
I don't like reading like last chapters of books. Like, I am a mess. When I read the last episode, I was a complete mess. I was like, yeah, so I don't know, is it good? I hope it's good. I bet it's great.
I was a mess. I don't know if that means good or bad. I think it means good.
Yeah.
The finale's meant to mess you up a little bit in every show.
Yeah.
There's no perfect finale. Like, even to some amazing shows, it's just how do you resolve something that's gone. So finales always feel a little bit weird. So I think so long as you're a viewer watching it and you have an emotional reaction, I think that's a good thing.
And I think it's like an appreciation for like having been on the journey with anything in life, you know? Like, nothing lasts forever. And so things ending reminds you of like, be there while it's happening. Like, take it in, enjoy it whilst we're here. So it's quite profound for me.
What was the biggest challenge for this season for you both?
the kind of rawness that Lila goes through, the depth of motherhood and making a marriage work. That was a challenge. Working with Aidan, he's a nightmare.
It's very true. Constantly laughing. All of the best takes. Whenever you're having a great take, I just break out laughing. We'll say that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ben has a huge role to play this season. It's amazing to watch you take on such a big role this season. What can you say about where he goes this time around?
Not much I can really say. I can say that we're seeing him, after they've lost their powers. I think Ben is trying to find his footing. Obviously, he's the only surviving member of the Sparrow Academy left. He doesn't know where he quite belongs, if he belongs with the Umbrellas or if he's kind of a lone wolf. He goes through an insane trajectory throughout the season. I think some questions that fans have been wondering about for a long time will finally be answered about Ben.
Yeah, he's a maverick, like Elon.
That's a quote from the show.
That's a quote from the show.
What was your first reaction to reading the script and kind of seeing the extent of Ben's role this season, and of course, as you say, seeing some of those big questions answered?
It was really exciting. I mean, I had a bit of fair warning because Steve had talked to me about it before he sort of finalized the scripts for season 4. But it was incredibly exciting to sort of read it as they came out, and it's been such a joy to sort of play different shades of Ben throughout the 4 seasons. So it's a great way to end things off with him.
Yeah, someone else we're seeing a slightly different side of, I think, as well, is Diego. He has a bit more of I found it quite emotional, his storyline this season. We see a bit more of an emotional side to him.
He's always emotional.
He's always emotional.
How did you find that, David, and how did you want to approach that this season?
Well, I started eating a lot before the season started, and that was really nice. I just ate an incredible amount, and then Steve was like, we're thinking about having a naked fight at the CIA. So how do you want to fight? Do you want to fight fat? Do we put a fat suit on you? And I was like, I think I'm going to be miserable if I stay fat the whole time. But it really helped because Diego was also very much in a space of not really seeing what's in front of him, having the idea of being a superhero and what validation that gives him. So then as he gets the powers, it's like, what do you really need and what do you really want? And so what he really needed was to see his family, because he thought he wanted to be a superhero, but he kind of just wanted to be a father and a husband. And yeah, I didn't know it was that emotional. I thought that was just what every marriage goes through,
And Robert, Klaus, I was quite surprised at how dark his storyline gets this season. I know you've described it as macabre. How did you want to approach those scenes, and what was that like for you to perform?
Approach him. I suppose it's hard because you talk them through. You try and not leave anything out. You try and make sure that they're a good laugh and you're not missing anything. There's no. And then you just go in and take each moment as it comes, or one big long now, as it were, and try and remain present really and listening. And it's just that basic really, and let the writing, which is always good, shine through you as opposed to trying to be shinier than the writing. That's always something I had to learn and relearn as I went on as an actor. An actor's a servant, and even though they wheel us out here for the press and make it seem like it's all about us, it's not.
No.
So we kind of, so it's no different with those scenes, really, and I wanted to maybe show off a bit of acting prowess as well, on the other side of things, by showing a lot of different extremes of emotion, ideally right next to one another. You see that kind of mad, sort of hysterical emotional flexibility that Klaus tends to have, especially when he was buried alive, or all the stuff in the pet cemetery. That was great. That was mental. Although I did ingest about 3 kilograms of dirt, which was extremely unpleasant, through my mouth, through my eyeballs, through my nostrils. Oh, I tell you, people think it's all glamour.
Yeah, a hazard of the job you do not expect, I can imagine.
When you're burying yourself alive, that's it.
How do you feel about the ending and how we leave the siblings?
I feel fairly at peace about it. You know, it certainly had a kind of book closed kind of feeling to it.
Yeah, it ends properly, which is always the best thing with any show ending. You know, it has a very, like you say, like a closed book feeling, and this show needed that. You couldn't. It's all right to have a few kind of loose ends that aren't fully tied up, but I think
couldn't do the Sopranos ending where you just cut to black suddenly.
Yeah. Like, oh.
Go, and then this credits happen.
Yeah, left with an empty feeling. I think this leaves you. I think it will probably leave you people thinking for a little bit longer and like the deeper meaning of it. But yeah, that's what I hope at least.
How would you say this season is different to what we've seen before?
Well, I think it's first of all my favorite season. I think we're dealing with a family that's grown up a lot, and I think the difference is, you know, in season 1, I don't know if they loved each other, and I don't know if they cared about each other. But in this season, we start, whatever they say and all the fights and all the, you know, the stuff that doesn't work between them, they love each other. The season starts with love, and we really get to see that. Even though they're dysfunctional, this is a family that loves each other and is working together better than ever before, which is great.
Yeah, and along the way we do go to some quite dark places. I feel like for me it goes darker than it has before. I think particularly with some of Klaus's scenes. How did you want to approach kind of how dark you went with it?
I don't think I approached it in any way of saying, can I go here, or is it too dark? I just felt it felt earned to me, and it felt like the natural propagation of that story. We went there. And, you know, again, the actors really are a big part of this. So if the actor came to me and said, like, I really don't like this, or I feel it's going too far, sometimes they feel it's not going far enough. So I sit down with the actor, and then I'll adjust the script. So, you know, I feel like, you know, we've always had such a good relationship that they can come to me. So a lot of the choices are mine, but many of the choices are theirs, and they're helping to sort of, you know, craft these wonderful characters, you know, together.
Yeah, I know it was a while ago now, but are there any specific examples you can think of where you and an actor really collaborated in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've done it with all of them, but like Robert Sheehan had a lot to say in how his character evolved. I was going to take into a way a little bit more comedic in some ways, and Robert really wanted to make sure that he always felt like he was real and grounded, and, you know, honored who Klaus really was and all his foibles and his addictions and stuff. You know, also even for 5, Aidan Gallagher also really wanted to make sure the character stayed true. He wasn't suddenly going to be laugh out loud funny. You know, he's going to have a voice. He was always he's an older man in the body of a boy. So, you know, he wanted to keep that loyal throughout the whole thing and be loyal to that character. So all of them really did that.